I'm Gene Gard, Chief Investment Officer at Teleray. I want to spend some time today talking about required minimum distributions from traditional IRAs or 401k plans. I think there's a lot of confusion about what it means and why the government would want you to take money out of your retirement account. And really the answer all comes down to taxes. So just to give a big picture overview of what it's about, when you put money into a traditional IRA, for example, you get to exclude that from your income for the most part in the year that you make that contribution. And then from there, you can do whatever you want in the account. You can earn dividends, you can buy and sell things, you can incur what would be capital gains in the sense that you can sell things for more than you paid for them. And there's no taxable consequences to that while the money's still in the account, generally speaking. But then at the very end, when it comes time to pull the money out, every dollar you pull out of the account is taxed as ordinary income. So it's sort of a trade-off. You get to deduct the amounts you contribute early on to the account, but then the government gets to tax you on the full amount when you pull it out. So that's exactly why the government is motivated to require you to take money out, because they want to get those taxes. If there weren't for required minimum distributions, you could leave that money in there forever and spend down all your other assets and never actually get taxed on that income. And then, of course, when you pass on, there are some rules for the inherited IRAs where they end up getting required to be spent also. But I think one of the big misconceptions is when you do see a plan, a financial plan for yourself, there's no requirement that you spend the money that you're required to take out of the account. They might require you to take the money out of the IRA so that it's taxed, but then you can immediately put it into some other sort of account, like just a regular old taxable brokerage account or whatever, and continue to see that money grow over time. And it's actually kind of a nice reset in some ways, because when you pull the money out, every dollar you pull out, its basis becomes a dollar per dollar, if that makes sense. So then from there, there's no tax consequences to do anything with it after you've paid that tax. But I think that's important to keep in mind, that you're not required to spend the money. And it's funny because most people do everything they can to keep from pulling the money out of their IRAs. So the required minimum distribution used to happen around age 70 and a half is when you had to start taking those distributions. They moved it up to 72 or so, and now there's actually talk of even moving that a little bit later as sort of a relief for older people to help them be more successful in retirement by not having to pay tax quite as early. But of course, on the other hand, some people want to take the money out even earlier. Normally, when you take money out of your IRA before age 59 and a half, it results in a 10% penalty plus you pay income taxes on it. But some people need the money for their retirement plans, so there's even things you can do to get the money earlier called substantially equal periodic payments. It's also known as the 72T withdrawals, and that's a whole other topic. But when you think about RMDs, there's a window right in the middle from about age 60 to about age 72 where you have the option to take the money. You can either leave it in there or you can take some out, but every dollar you take out is taxable as income. But then from there, once you get to be about 72, then you have to start taking some out each year, whether you like it or not. Again, you don't have to spend it. And if you want to get at that money before age 60 or so, you can do it. You could do it right now, but there's a number of carve-outs if you don't want to get that 10% penalty. It'll still be taxable income, but there's some carve-outs for education, for certain types of other situations, or if you agree to take payments for at least 5 years or until you turn age 59 and a half, 60, you can get at that money earlier without actually having that penalty. So hopefully that's helpful. RMDs aren't as scary as you think. If you have a good advisor, they can definitely help you have a strategy to get that taken care of. But again, the misconception that's come up a couple times I just wanted to refute is just because you have to take it out doesn't mean you have to spend it. It can still be part of your savings and investments. It just can't continue to live in the IRA, at least that part that you're required to take out.